Oh, hello, dears. Hello, dears. Those of you new to this community today, we identify the cause of all our suffering and we question it. And really, it's that simple. Like, for example, he hurt my feelings, and I see an image in my head of when he said what he said and did what he did, and I see an image of me there with him, and so I feel that on some level because I'm watching that movie of the past. It's as though he really did hurt my feelings, but who is that he? That's an image. That is not a he. That is not real. That is fake news. And the trick is to know the difference. Because when you know the difference, and you run into that person again, for example, you know the difference between that person and the fake person you're imagining the real person to be. And if we're carrying a grudge, and out of that story, the ego is holding in you, to believe it is to carry the grudge, the carrier of that grudge. And we say things and we do things we feel guilty over later, and then we blame that other person. So I'd love all of you new today, to understand how to deal with that, how to know the difference. For example, right now, imagine yourself biting into a big, yellow, juicy lemon. Just imagine doing that now. Okay, you saw a picture of the lemon, but that's imagination, and you didn't do it to you. It was a happening. But it looked so real. And I call that attachment. It looks so real that so many of you actually felt in your, in your, the saliva, as though you had actually tasted it. There's no lemon. That is what you experienced, was like the grudge. That's emotional. And that is the spell. That is the ego's spell. So, Apple, I'm going to cast a spell on you right now. Are you ready? There's nothing you can do about it, so of course you're ready. Here it comes, here it comes. Banana. Cast a spell on you, a banana spell. So when you can't hear the word in your mind, for example, banana, without seeing an image. Otherwise, the ego has no power. That is like I'm not going to go that deeply into it, because those of you new to the work, I sure don't want to confuse you, but I certainly don't want to not give you what's there. And I'm not talking about in me, just the simplicity of banana. Oop, you did it again. But just imagine when you were a little child and you'd never seen a banana before. And someone holds it up in front of you and says, banana. And you don't even know what they're talking about. Banana. And then next week or later that day or both, they hold it up again, banana. And then something really happens. Identity happens. I see a banana. I want to say something more there. The image had a word. See the image, you don't know what it is. You're just a little pumpkin. It's innocent. And there's the banana. There's this thing, you don't even know what it is. So you're not worried about it at all, it just is. And then the word banana meet, and it's like creation. That's the first banana you've ever seen, even though maybe you've been living on them for a week. Word, image, identity. Orange. You understand? The only way I know to break the spell, now that's an innocent spell. But the word remembering, like the banana, the orange, it's the apparent past. But then when it comes to grudging, you know, like holding a grudge on someone, what you're thinking and believing, can you see how innocent you are? You strike back. Sometimes you get even, sometimes depression. We say things and do things that we just don't understand. Why did I do that? Why did I say that? Well, that's the life that's an ego-driven life. And we all do the best we can. We're under the spell. So those of you new to the work today, we break the spell. We break the spell. This is self-inquiry, okay? So, Sue, you have a question.
Yeah, hi, Katie.
Hi, Sue.
With you and to talk to you. Thank you so much. Can it just be a mere question instead of an inquiry?
Could you speak up a little, honey?
Can you hear me well?
Go ahead.
Okay. Can I just ask you a question instead of an inquiry? Will that?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for providing this opportunity to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been watching your videos a lot lately, and I could really agree with your concept of questioning my thoughts and before judging someone or feeling the anger or sense of jealousy and whatever. Like I try.
Or you can question them after you've said something hurtful or argued.
Yeah. So because you told to people during the video, like, who would you be without your story? And that's kind of my mantra lately.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to ask you, yes.
So who are you without the thought orange, banana? Or who are you without your story of biting into a lemon? If we look at the lemon, you had the thought and then you've experienced the physical in your mouth, but that wasn't a real lemon. So who are you without it, without the image when you hear the word lemon? Who are you? Like someone talks about lemon and you don't see an image in your head. You don't have word and object. So you experience the thing, just like carrying a grudge or liking one person and being resentful of that person the next day. What are we thinking and believing? That is the cause of all suffering. And so who would you be without the thoughts? So who are you? You're the same person without that thing happening in your mouth. So it's not a dramatic thing. Who would I be without my story? It's I just drop what I'm thinking and believing about an object, like a person, place, or thing. I drop the images of past, future. In other words, I don't really drop them. I just look at it without the story. I was thinking about it. And that's presence. That's presence. That's where you can meet the love of your life, the most amazing teacher you will ever meet, and that's yourself. I am a concoction of who I believe myself to be. But to really know myself, what am I thinking and believing about you, shows me who I am. How kind, considerate, or mean and narrow. And some of those hurt, and the others, we're free because we're living, let's just say the short version, out of our heart. It's where the mind is a match for the heart. The ego's not at war with it.
So I wanted to ask you, if I come back to unconsciousness at that split second again, and I feel extremely discouraged after I become unconscious again, after that short moment of consciousness, and I get back to unconsciousness.
Yeah, so that's why I call this the work. It's just unfinished Earth school business. It's like, this is Earth school. This, I see Earth as heaven. Other than what we're thinking about Earth, we like it a lot. Other than what we're thinking and believing that create all the fear and mean-mindedness in it. That mean-mindedness is a term for fear. So just unfinished business, sweetie. And that's what I do is I fill in a judge your neighbor worksheet. Like if I have a resentment or someone says something and I think, oh, that's not fair, something like that, I just fill in a judge your neighbor worksheet and I question it. And I'm doing my Earth school requirement to be happy here, to be awake here, to be awake to my true nature. Oh my goodness, it's and it goes so far as I'm not here. So how can anything frighten me when I understand? Like, I ate a lemon. Well, is that me? No, we call that remembering. I remember when I ate the lemon. I remember seeing the lemon, but that's all in my head. So now I can say, oh, I love lemons, and that's how we talk in Earth School. But to be awake to the dream, filling in these worksheets give us that. They give us that. They give us that. Just you sitting with extraordinary you and knowing the difference between what is real and what is imagined.
So it's a lifelong process.
Yeah. Thank you for the question, sweetie. Yeah. And I don't want to lose my stories. I want to understand I want to understand what's true and what's not, and the power of the ego that would give me a world that is anything less than beautiful. That's up for inquiry. Not to prove a point, but just to get free of what hurts. Yeah. Thank you, Sue, love. Tommy, you have a worksheet?
I do. Hello.
Hello. So what did you write for number one? Those of you new to the work today, the worksheet has 6 questions on it, 1 through 6. So what did you write for number one? Anchor in a situation and collect the thoughts we were thinking and believing then.
Yeah.
So number one.
I wrote, I'm frustrated with my husband because he expects me to agree with him when I don't.
Okay. And what is the situation where he's expecting you to agree with him?
We're talking about ideas for like our business, and the ideas I feel like or he's offering don't really apply, or like are out of left field, or just don't move us forward. And I'm like, I don't really think that's going to help. I don't think that's a good idea. And he takes it really personally and feels like I'm dismissing him.
Yeah. Like he's being unacknowledged.
Yes. Yeah. And it's really hard. It's kind of a pattern.
Yeah. So be there now in that situation where that's happening. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And are you at the computer?
We're taking a walk.
You're taking a walk.
Mm-hmm.
And you're giving him your ideas.
Yep.
To support the business.
Yeah.
Now be there just as you are on that walk. Listen to him. Look at him. He expects you to agree with him. Is it true?
No.
Wow. What did you see? I'm just curious.
I just see him looking at me with like eyes like looking for approval, and I think he wants me to agree with him. He would love it if I agreed with him, but I don't.
So it's all yours, really. He's just looking at you.
Mm-hmm. True.
And you could be right about what he's thinking and believing, but he expects you to agree with him. Is it true? No.
No.
Now notice in that situation how you react. What happens? How do you react when you think the thought, he expects me to agree with him?
Well, he gets angry, and then I get angry back.
Okay. So he expects me to agree with him. How do you react?
I get angry or frustrated.
And so far, all he's doing is looking.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't said anything, if I'm understanding you correctly. He's walking. He hasn't said anything to agree or disagree with you. You're looking at him, giving him ideas, believing that he expects you to agree with him. And he doesn't say anything. Now notice how you react. Continue to notice how you react. Really get a dose of yourself.
Well, he is saying a lot, actually.
So what did he say?
He'll just like, I'll say, I think we should do this, and he said, well, I think we should do this and this and this and this and this and this, and I'm like,
Okay, so he has the audacity to actually answer your question. I mean, you're talking to him, telling him your ideas, and he comes back with his. He doesn't agree with it. What if we this and this or that? Now notice, honey, how you look at him, your attitude toward your partner as you're walking. When you think the thought, he expects me to agree with him. Do you interrupt him? Notice, are you a poor listener?
Yeah, that's I stop listening and he gets even more frustrated with me because he thinks I'm not listening, and he's right.
Yeah, so feel that he's right.
Yeah.
So be there, continue to be there. He's right. You expect him to give you what you're not giving. He expects me to agree with him. Now let's just be there. Without the thought, he expects me to agree with him and listen to him without interruption. Notice some of the things make sense, maybe some of them don't, maybe none of them do. Just listen. And notice his creative mind, whether you agree with it or not. Who are you without the thought on that walk? Without the thought, he expects me to agree with him as you just listen without interrupting him.
Well, who am I? I'm exactly who he wants me to be, which is someone that's listening to him. And I'm someone I'd prefer to be, someone who's just listening.
Respectful.
Yeah.
Open. A partner.
Yeah.
He expects me to agree with him, turned around. I
expect him to agree with me.
Yeah.
That's true. God, that's true.
And notice when he doesn't agree with you, notice the punishment, notice the overriding, notice the maybe overbearing, notice the maybe you turn, maybe you look hurt, look at you without the thought. He expects me to agree with him. And look at him. I expect me, let's try this on. I expect me not to agree with him.
Yep.
Yeah, how automatically you just disagree if he interrupts.
Wow. Yeah, I expect me not to agree with him. That is our habit, my habit.
Good to wake up to.
Mm-hmm.
Now notice the emotional in you, of you, when you think the thought, he expects me to agree with him. Notice you interrupt, you override, you do the hurt thing or the punishment thing, whatever that is. Now get in touch with your emotional when he overrides or interrupts and you think the thought, he expects me to agree with him. Notice your attitude. Notice you don't give him room. Notice you get resentful. Notice you feel unheard and get in touch with the emotional.
Yeah, it becomes there's like a disconnection. It becomes like a push away.
And there's another turnaround. Those of you new to the word turnarounds, we just try on opposites. We don't expect them to be true or anything. We just try them on, see how they fit. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Another turnaround. I expect me to agree with me. For some of us, that's so much of our persona. We're not even in touch with it. I expect people to agree with me. I just expect it.
Mm-hmm.
I just expect people to agree with me.
Yeah, I do.
I have one word for that. Maybe two. That's crazy. I notice they do or they don't.
Well, actually, I don't care if they don't, but I think they probably should.
Wow, yeah, very good.
Like, I think they would benefit if they did, because I've got great ideas.
And not everyone thinks so.
No, and that's fine.
And also, some people are very poor listeners. They're so excited about jumping in with their own, they don't even really hear your idea.
Yeah.
And that was you on that walk.
And that was my thing that I thought he was doing. Like we both think that we're doing the thing that we see the other one doing that we don't like.
Well, one of you can be awake to that and have both benefit from both. There could be one thing he says that you can glean that would really just shift your idea to a whole other.
It's so true.
Yeah.
And does. It often does too.
So let's look at number 2. On that walk and that situation where you're believing he expects you to agree with him, what did you want? What did you want him to think, say, feel, or do? What did you want for number 2?
Yeah. I mean, it already feels less real now, but I want him to leave my creative process in my hands and stop making me feel like shit when I don't agree with his ideas that feel out of alignment to me.
Yeah. So you want him, check it out, on that walk in that situation, you want him to leave your creative process in your hands. Is it true?
No.
No. Turned around. I want me to leave my creative process in his hands. Why might that be true? You're giving it to him.
Mm-hmm.
You're putting it out there. His opinions are what you get back. I want him to leave my creative processes in my hands. In that situation, no. I put it in his hands when I was telling him about it.
Mm. So like talking about it with anybody is like an invitation into it.
You put it in their hands.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
And you gave it to him, and then notice how you react when you think the thought, I want him to leave my creative process in my hands, and he gives you feedback
Yeah.
on what you put in his hands.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, so now let's live that turnaround. Be there now. You put it in his hands. Now experience this turnaround. I want me to leave my creative process in his hands. So now just get still and listen. You put it in his hands. Now listen to his feedback, his creative mind, his words. You put it there. Look what he does with it. And look at his face. Is he excited? That creative mind?
Yeah. He's very happy to be included.
Wow. Good to know. Good to know about your partner.
Mm-hmm.
He's very happy to be included.
Yeah, I'm not treating him like a partner right now. We're in that situation.
He made you feel terrible when he disagreed with you. Is it true? So notice you've come far enough to really take a look at.
No, I made me feel terrible.
Yeah, so it's what you were thinking and believing and what came out of that that made you feel terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So now listen to his feedback. You put it in his hands and live this turnaround. In that situation, listen to him and stop making you feel terrible when you don't agree with him. That last one was when I do agree with him. agree that you put it in his hands and he's responding creatively. I want me to stop making me feel terrible when I disagree with him. So notice how just listening to him with an open mind gives you that. Another turnaround, I want me to allow me to feel wonderful when I agree with him, that he has a right to respond in that situation. You know, the ego wants to take credit. It wants to say, I did it. It was my idea. I did that. And then we share ideas with people and we're just shocked that they stole our ideas. Well, we gave them, the key word is give, gave. We gave it. They didn't steal it. And then they give us one good idea that gives us a better idea, and we still want to take credit for it. It was mine originally. So the people, even people closest to us, become a threat. You know, well, that was my idea. We think, but we gave it. And it's such a gift. And then he gave back. With an open mind, you're well aware of it. It's kind of like a partnership. Let's look at 3. In that situation, what advice would you offer him when you're expecting, when you believe he's expecting you to agree with him? Oh, no sound.
There we go. Okay. So number 3 is pretty similar.
This is advice to him to get what you want in that situation. What
I don't even want to read it. I don't like it.
Well, it was going on then, and it's the cause of your suffering. So
Okay.
This is about waking up to the cause of your suffering.
Okay, so he shouldn't expect me to agree with his ideas just because we're in a partnership. And he should support me in developing my ideas that feel aligned to my truth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
God.
Mm-hmm. So he shouldn't expect you to agree with him. Because you're partners, he shouldn't, just because you're partners, he shouldn't expect you to agree with him. In that situation on the walk, when you're sharing your idea with him, he shouldn't expect you to agree with him just because you're partners. Is it true?
He shouldn't expect me to agree with him. Yeah. No, because I even said, let's brainstorm. And he even says all the time, take what you can from my ideas and throw away the rest.
Wow.
And I forget that part. He just wants to be heard.
Sounds a lot like you in
True.
that situation.
True.
Yeah, I love giving what I want.
Hmm.
Just to know that it's possible to.
I love giving what I want. Wow.
We're in that ownership thing.
Hmm.
To give it, just to give it and watch it move, watch it grow, which was his intention with those contributions.
Yeah.
He could have 100 of them if just one of them is supports what you're putting together. It's just so worth it to him.
Yeah, it's true.
So he made you feel terrible? Is
No.
it true?
No, I did.
He should support you when you have ideas that align with your truth, but not his. Is it true?
No.
How would you turn this whole thing around? In that situation, I shouldn't expect him.
I shouldn't expect him to agree with my ideas. Oh, wait.
With your ideas, just the way they are.
Yeah. I shouldn't expect him to agree with my ideas.
Now you've got a collaborator.
Yeah.
Not a yes partner, but a collaborator, which is why you put it out there. Maybe you put it out there just so he say, "Oh, you are so wonderful. You are so smart. You are so creative. You are so." He shouldn't expect me to agree with him. He should support me in my ideas that align with my truth.
Yeah. I should support him in his ideas that align with his truth.
Yeah. And how would you support him? It doesn't mean you have to change the project around.
Yeah. Just listen. Consider. That's what he wants, consideration.
And isn't that what you were really asking him for? Even without the question, even though you were just sharing it.
I suppose so.
Where I am with it. No, I just wanted him to agree and just think I'm marvelous and so let's look at that part of it.
Okay.
And the part where you want his support and ideas. If you had to choose.
If I had to choose.
That he just says, "Oh, you're wonderful. That's such a great idea. Oh my God."
Oh yeah, no. That would be not helpful.
Yeah. So good to know for yourself when you're looking for love, approval, and appreciation, what you'd prefer.
Yeah, I prefer
His feedback.
Yeah. Yeah.
So be there now and drop seeking his love, approval, and appreciation. Listen. What are you appreciating about him as you sit in that?
Well, he has a super creative mind, and it's unboxed in like mine is sometimes, and so he can see different, out of the box ideas and stuff. I even said that to him on that walk, but I think he felt like I was being sarcastic.
Yeah, he was getting mixed messages.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's what we do when we think we've gone a little too far. We just bend over trying to take it back.
Yeah.
So they don't think less of us.
Yeah.
Manipulation. The ego, it's just so brilliantly tricky.
It really is.
Fighting for its life. Let's look at the one.
Okay. Okay. I need him to allow me to do what feels right for me and stop slowing me down.
Let's start it over.
Okay.
To be happy, and because
in order to be happy in this situation,
number 4 is about happiness.
Yeah, in order to be happy in this situation, I need him to allow me to do what feels right for me and stop slowing me down with arguments about not listening to him.
Yeah, so be there now.
Mm-hmm.
Would that make you happy? Would that actually make you happy?
No, I don't think so.
In that situation, he is not allowing you to do what feels right for you. Is it true?
No.
It's bogus.
Yeah, complete bogus. Mm-hmm.
And notice how you react when you think the thought.
Yeah. My reaction is because I feel like he's trying to control me, and he's not. He's just trying to offer his input.
Oh, honey, you are into something beautiful.
Yeah.
That's your guy.
Mm-hmm.
So live this turnaround to be happy. I need me to. And read number 4.
I need me to allow me to do what feels right for me and stop slowing me down with arguments about not listening to me. Yeah, it's true. I mean, it takes 2 to argue.
Well, actually not.
No? Okay.
Just take 1.
But I don't have to argue. Like, I think I make it into an argument. I think I'm the one that does that.
If I'm in an argument with anyone, I can stop it.
Yeah.
And how do I do that? I get quiet. I open my mind. I listen.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing else I need to do. No one's stopping me from being sane, other than my attachment to what the ego offers up, what I'm thinking and believing about that person.
Mm-hmm.
So to be happy, I need me, and read it that way, turned around.
To be happy, I need me to
allow him
to do what feels right for him, and stop
slowing him
down with arguments about not listening to me.
Yes.
Whoa.
I love these wants, needs, and shoulds. They're turned around. They are truly prescriptions for happiness.
Totally.
Filled our worksheets in on a situation, and the way that you've done and shown all of us by example how to fill in these worksheets. And the power is not there if we don't work them first with those 4 questions turnaround.
Yeah.
We can't just fill them in and turn around and say, oh, that's my prescription for happiness. No, because the ego's job is to run a little interference there, like identity, being threatened. For me to be happy, I need me to allow him. So live that turnaround on that walk. I need me to allow him to do to say what he, and do what feels right for him.
Yeah. And stop slowing him down.
Yes. With your arguments.
Yeah.
About not listening to you. About him not listening to you. If you really want to know the person you live with, let them be right. Listen. Costs nothing in situations like this where we're arguing.
Yeah.
Okay, precious. Let's look at 5.
Okay.
That situation he is.
Okay. In that situation, he is.
Oh, honey, let's go back to 4 again.
Okay.
Find another turnaround.
Okay.
For me to be happy, I need me to allow me to do what feels right for me. Now, you're more educated than when you filled in the worksheet. You've come this far.
Okay, so I need me to allow me to do what feels right for me.
Which was to listen.
And stop slowing me down.
Stop slowing him down.
Oh, him down. Okay. Oh. Stop slowing him down with arguments about not listening to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to leave you with that. It's so powerful. Let's
this is really good.
Yeah.
Okay, 5. Okay. So he is insecure, needy, seeking approval for approval's sake, talking too much, not seeing this from my perspective.
Yeah. Now, no. So in that situation, on that walk with him, I shared my ideas with him, and he interrupted with his ideas. In that situation, I am
insecure, needy, seeking approval, talking too much, not seeing things from his perspective.
Yeah. That is a closed mind. That is the life of an I know mind.
Yep.
It's as though it's that I know mind is like this tiny little thing trying to hold back the entire universe, your entire world. The ego, if nothing else, is brilliant. I mean, it doesn't create identity. It attempts to create the illusion of identity, and it costs us the people we love in our life, and it costs us awareness of the people in our life that the ego will take a person, a human being you just adore, and just tear them to shreds. And then, like, they become a threat and our enemy.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we love them, and we're just lost, and we snap, and then we get bitter, and then we divorce or stay together, and it's just, see, to me, that's old age. Like, the body doesn't get old, but these things are in every language in the world. To be happy, I need people to allow me to do what feels right for me. That was your number 4 on him. To be happy, I need the world to stop slowing me down with arguments and start listening to me. You know, it's like we believe it in every language in the world. The ego is like a one-trick pony. It is, oh my goodness. The ego is, I want, I need, they should, they shouldn't. I mean, that's it. It's like 6 things on this Judge Enable worksheet. It's like checkmate. And Tommy, what I see with you is, again, is like, we can't just, if you had jumped, let's say we just said, oh, let's just start at number 4. It costs, you're giving up all of you that are into your worksheets, you're giving up all the enlightenment.
Yeah.
All the enlightenment in 1 through 3. And so when you question, you jump to number 4 on the worksheet, or 5 or 6, this is stacked. I have stacked this, tracking the ego. It's enlightened, then you move to 2, enlightened, you move to 3, enlightened, you move to 4. And it's just trust the process, those of you that are into the work. And I hear people say, well, it just doesn't work. You know, I did the needs, and yeah. Oh, dears. Oh, you dears. And, you know, it's, you know, it'll give you a lot. And I don't think that I don't celebrate that, as I watch you step into the freedom you've already got. I don't worry about your freedom. I don't worry about your enlightenment. I mean, you already have all of that. But what keeps you from the awareness of that, Tommy has shown us clearly on a worksheet, when we unload the ego's thought system in any situation. So my partner is insecure, turned around, my partner is secure.
Yeah.
Example in that situation. I have one. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah.
He knows he can just jump in anytime and just be free. You know, he knows that about you, that it might be a little difficult. Your feelings might get hurt, and probably so excited with his ideas, sharing with you, that he's not even in touch when you are hurt. He's just excited to offer, to give, to join.
Yeah. True.
Needy, the opposite. supportive
Mm.
in that situation. He was seeking my approval, turned around. He was not seeking my approval. You can check that one out. Just be there now. Was he seeking your approval, or was he just on fire with your idea and brainstorming?
Yeah, that.
Talking too much? Check it out.
On fire.
Not seeing this from my perspective. Turned around. He was seeing this from my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see that one when you test it?
I wasn't asking for him to see it from my perspective. I was asking for his perspective, and that's what he was giving me.
Wow.
If anything, I wasn't listening to his perspective.
Yeah. He was not seeing this from
I
my
wasn't listening
perspective.
to the literal thing I was asking him to give me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was not seeing this from my perspective. He was seeing it so clearly from your perspective that he was able to fly from it. Just, it's like a, Let's look at 6.
Okay.
In that situation, what is it you never want to experience with him again?
I don't want to argue.
I'm willing to.
I'm willing to argue.
I don't ever want to argue with him again. Turned around, I'm willing to
argue with him again.
Yeah, because if you're arguing, that's war. Argument is it's a mild, it can be like a mild war, but it's still a battleground. The ego is still battling for something. And it's always, when that's happening in you, it's always at the expense of the other person. In other words, your relationship. And so I'm willing to argue with him again. You know, that's war with the person you love. So it's another worksheet. And that's the whole point of number 6 on this worksheet. If I find myself arguing with him again, it's a worksheet. It doesn't mean that he's wrong or right or anything. It's about what am I thinking and believing that would cause my suffering and the suffering of other humans. I look forward to
arguing again.
Very exciting. It may never happen again. Your mind could be so open right now to yourself, your ego's trickery. But just in case you missed a few pieces, then this worksheet, for all of you, it's always free on thework.com. Tommy, honey, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your work on relationships. It's so clear how you care about him and how open your mind is. And I don't even have to wish you well. That is well to be awake. There's no greater, if we're on our deathbed, because we're ill and we're dying of an illness, other than what we're thinking and believing, we are well. We are in touch with life as it is, and you'd think that would be dismal, but it's not. It's not. And I invite you all to test this for yourself. So Susie, your takeaway with Tommy's work today.
Oh, hi. Look, I was thinking about my daughter is often does creative. She's a singer-songwriter, and you know, she tells me the lyrics of her songs, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, no, that one's not quite right. So, you know, like, it's good, but and I just thought about the last time that I really sat down and thought about it and gave her some feedback and said, this could work, this lyric could work. And then I just didn't hear anything back from her for like 3 or 4 days. And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm so glad that I have the work, because in the past I would have been like, hey, did you get my message? Like, I spent some time thinking about that, you know, and it would have been, you know, I could still feel I've got a bit of attachment to it. But I'm so grateful that I can see this is, you know, this is my ego, and you know, I want the acknowledgement, and it's just between me and her, you know.
Yeah, and the acknowledgement, the credit, and it's not right or wrong. It's just that when we don't get it, it's not so comfortable.
It's not good. And that was great what you said, you know, about that we literally do say we give, you know, we give somebody else an idea. We've given it, you know, and I never thought about that before, because I've thought about people stealing ideas too, and it's like, no.
It's just not. It's like we give it and we expect something back, and more often than not, if it's not a physical payback, it is their love, approval, and appreciation. And so seeking that is, no, we can't say we gave that to, we gave them that gift. We gave it to them without telling them. Maybe this is more clearly. Let's say if you ask me for an opinion and I give it to you, and I just think it's so wonderful, and I want you to see that it's wonderful too, I give you the gift, but I say, and would you please, and, oh, you know, I can't even say it. It's like, let's say my daughter, I give her something, and I expect your love, approval, and appreciation. That's the price of this gift. And we can both laugh because we both know me, and I just got it. And by just being just wide open, honest with her, and her laughter back, knowing me, that kind of connection is just priceless. It's I don't know how any of you make sense with this, but this is all about noticing, seeking other people's love, approval, and appreciation. At the School for the Work, I invite people to do three things every day, 3 loving, caring things, you know, like a gift, a flower, or a note, or 3 loving, caring things, and not get found out. Just live as a secret. And notice how the ego just screams, you know, did they notice? You know, do they think it's me? And oh, I hope they think it's me. And oh, I hope someone saw me leave it behind their door. You know, this, watching the ego just I. Yeah. And we want people to see us and those kinds of things, but do we see us and the pain of that when we don't get paid back that price tag of that unspoken price tag of send me a thank you note, and a worthy one. But anyway, enough on that. But it is so in us. This do we give it? Really? Yeah.
I have a worksheet too that I would love to do with you today. It's on my dad.
Okay, so let's have a date for tomorrow.
Oh,
Our
great.
plan is to show up here tomorrow, and so I'd love to hear the work on your dad.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Susie. Ronnie, your takeaway today.
Hey, thank you very much for sharing this. I had a special response inside to one of the turnarounds, maybe the one that you haven't done, I'm not sure, with he expects me to agree with him. And this whole expectation thing, what you think he expects, I thought he expects me. He does not expect me to agree with him. Maybe just even this small thing, maybe he wishes I agree with him. And it's so subtle, the difference between, like, we turn it into an expectation and then we turn him into some authority figure that creates pressure for us just because he wishes for something. That's what I came with. Like,
Yeah, that is worth noodling, honey. Yeah, language.
yeah,
The power of words connected with an image, an object. We call it life. And if you saw my hands and heard my voice when I said life, you're in the past.
yeah,
It's
Yeah. Already.
image remains, but that's not on me, that's yours. And that's not me, you see, that is,
It's
they
that he,
look like me, but that's yours.
yeah, he expects me. I'm expected. So if I don't comply, he will punish me. So already there's ill will somehow
Wow.
in his, maybe he did wish to agree, like he wishes I agree with him, but that leaves me perfect freedom. And he expects, that puts me in a corner. And it's very small, the difference, you know. That stayed with me.
Wow,
So,
sweetie, what a beautiful mind.
thank you.
Your mind is so open.
Thank you.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you for today, everyone.
Yes, family. Linda. Hi, Linda.
Hi, it is so good to see you. And my takeaway comes in the form of a real thank you to Tommy and you as you were doing the work around how do we behave when we're seeking love and appreciation and just the noticing. It was like all of a sudden I had multiple past images of the particular phrases that really can show me I have moved from the conversation into that. And for me, they are, oh my God, I'm not trying to be critical. And I probably have been nothing but, right?
Mhm.
And I don't mean to hurt feelings. Like those are like, I can just see that there's like, that mix up has become so prevalent. And it was like watching so many moments just flash through, and what a gift that's been today.
Yeah. It's privilege, seeking love, approval, and appreciation. Well, if I give you something, or I give you a compliment or an object, you owe me one of those at least: love, approval, and appreciation, preferably. All three. And you
Definitely,
need to tell the whole world how wonderful I am, and you need to remember who I am. I mean, it's like you owe me.
Mhm.
And that is living as like privilege after all I've done for you.
After all this advice I've given you, you've
Mhm.
got hurt? What's with that?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
and if you know, without you returning that love, approval, and appreciation, I don't even know if I want to be friends with you anymore. You're ungrateful. There's just something about you I just don't really. I mean, it's just this. You know, you owe me. So fun for all of us to look at. It's on a scale from 1 to 10. 10, I mean, a 1 being just mild, and 10 is I really don't ever want to see you in my life again, kind of thing. Oh, and Mariana, thank you, Linda. So seeking through you.
Hi, Katie. So nice to
Hi.
hear you. Thank you much. What I take away is that we have no way of really knowing what the intentions of other people are when they say things.
Yeah.
Can only know, and I would say sometimes I know my intentions, but I don't really know my own intentions.
Yeah.
They're just projecting outwards. This exercise was really helpful for me because my worksheet was on my husband also.
Mm.
So all about how I see some things in him. And when we got to question number 6, and when we said
I
how
don't
to
ever want.
describe this person, and then I realized I could see the opposite, but I'm choosing to see the negative. And that's because I'm just looking at how I want to see it
Yeah.
and how I'm describing myself in that situation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, honey. Thank you for sitting in this and so open-minded sitting in this and sharing it with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Antonia.
Hi.
Hi, Antonia.
Give what you want. That was big.
Oh, honey.
Usually, everything. You can hear me?
Yeah, but you were cutting out.
Oh, sorry. Give what you want. That's big. When I look closely, I always had what I wanted, so why not give it?
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that is so beautiful. That is so beautiful and so true.
Yes.
And that takes a very open mind to see what is beautiful and notice when the ego comes in to yeah, but. And other than that, no distortion. That is the distortion. And
Right.
without that distortion, everything is beautiful. Wow. And there's no one in the world that doesn't understand that. But the ego, its survival depends on you focusing on its attempt at life. And ego is a state of mind, so it can never have a life. It's an illusion. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you for something beautiful. Vlatka.
Hey, Katie.
Hey, Vlatka.
If I quarrel with someone and I say, I don't understand, how can you do this to me? That's just it. I don't understand. Or if I say, I would never do it like that, that's just it. I would never do it like that, but somebody else will. It's my problem that I don't understand. How can he do that or not? Right?
Yeah, and if I believed what he believed, I'd do the same.
But why shouldn't he do it? I mean,
Yeah.
if it's my problem that if I don't understand it, how can he do it? Well, look how, and then this is a really big opening for me. It doesn't matter if I don't understand. It's done like that for somebody. And my problem is to understand it. And the other turnaround I had on something really political, I had, there is lots of them, you know, and I turn it around, there is lots of me. And then I looked, I'm everywhere. I'm in politics, I'm in their marriage, I'm in my friends, you know, business. There is lots of me. So now I can understand better, where am I too much, you know? And I cannot say to you, I cannot express enough how much I appreciate the work and how many times it saved me literally. So thank you so much.
Oh, honey, thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing your beautiful, beautiful world with us.
Yes, yes.
You are our potential. Thank you, Vladka.
Thank you.
Lisa.
Hi.
Hi, Lisa.
So good, Tommy, so good. Just right when you said how crazy it is I expect people to agree with me, like just in that moment, like everyone's saying, I was like downloaded all of these relationships where that happened, where, oh my goodness, I'm holding a grudge because she didn't agree with me. Something I did 3 months ago, like I didn't even know it was in there. And then like my biggest aha today, in addition to that, when you said to really know myself, what am I thinking and believing about others shows you who you are. And I was like, got it. I was just like, I was like, oof.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. It's yeah, that's the life of a believer. You know, I can't be the wrong one. I'm the wronged. And oh my goodness, I love how self-inquiry can just burst that bubble. And those of you new to the work, you know, this is this work takes stillness as you sit with yourself in your worksheet. It takes stillness to even fill in a worksheet, to identify what you're thinking and believing in that situation, the way Tommy showed us how to do today, that we anchor there and we identify the thoughts we were thinking. Why? Because the thoughts we were thinking in that situation, that was the cause of our suffering. It cannot ever be the other. It is the cause of my suffering. And then as we look more closely at it, we understand how we react when we believe the thought we're affecting other people. So I leave you with that. Deborah.
Hi, Katie.
Hi, Deborah. Your takeaway.
Well, thank you for Tommy and everyone. And I did the work with
Oh, honey, you're cutting
Tommy
out.
today with my dad. Oh, is that better?
Yes.
And my dad is 88 and my stepmom is 90 and she has pretty serious dementia, and they have been parked in my sister's driveway for 25 days. And I've been doing a lot of worksheets. They showed up.
They showed up in a motorhome. They're living in.
Yes. Well,
they're
there.
driving.
Well, he got here. I've been for the last 3 years going to Florida, and they don't need any help. And they drove to Michigan and don't need any. He said, I'm going to sell my house there.
And she's 90 and he
stayed with you in Missouri.
She's 90 and he's 88.
88, and she doesn't really, she does know, you know, anyway, never mind. The big story. And my sister lives about, I don't know, half mile from here, and he can't park in my driveway, so he's in hers. And the turnaround today I got was, I should not expect me to agree with him just because he is my dad. And I have been doing worksheets and listening to you guys, and I listened to Mello. I didn't come Wednesday, but I heard Mello. I did the replay. And
Mello really took us on a ride there. It's so sweet.
And yeah, and I'll be here tomorrow, and I'm just so grateful. So thank you, all family, and especially this is like such a relief to me today.
Thank you, Deborah. Moritz.
Hi, Katie. Nice
Hi,
to meet you.
Moritz. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
My takeaway for today is we expect things from others we are not giving. That is so true. And I think often we expect things from others and they might already have given them to us. We don't know. We're expecting a certain behavior to be able to feel good. Or you should behave this way so that I can feel good. And it's just, I think it's just, sometimes we, or I definitely try to, which is definitely impossible, to control the world.
Yeah, to control the ego is,
yes.
You know, it's yeah, that is trying to control the world, because the ego creates the world and it's all false.
But if we can just accept the world how it is without our expectancies, everything is fine, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, just this week, just last week, I had a really rough experience that triggered me. And after a while, I remembered you saying in another occasion, "Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for this challenge, because now I can learn on it." And that shifted my perspective completely. And it's just, yeah, we can sometimes really be grateful for what we're experiencing, even if it is a challenge, because we can grow.
Yeah, for sure. That's Earth School. That's Earth School. We grow, or we have a word for the opposite. It's called pain. Oh, thank you, Moritz.
Thank you, Katie.
Mello.
Hey, hi, Katie.
Hi, honey.
Hi, Katie. Hi, everyone.
How you doing?
Yeah, well, I went back into some suffering after more suffering. So to be expected. Thank you.
Yeah, it's an unwilling to. I look forward to this suffering and move it from my head to paper and get very still as I sit in these questions.
And I see, like, underneath, like, that I'm getting more settled in sort of understanding that I'm signed up to this curriculum, and you know, it's seemed to be a bit of a turbulent one, and you know, these things, these people, you know, they're proxies for the bigger thing, and in a way I had like such an extreme upbringing in a cult that these people in my life now, it's kinder for me to do the work on them.
Yeah,
they come in as a kind of grace that is just like feels quite small and petty, and I can go into it and undo other things that I might be too afraid to go straight to. So I really thank you.
Yeah, it does take courage. It sure is good to have worksheets under our belt.
Yeah, I love
that in with understanding and balance, as opposed to the desire to be understood.
Oh well, that's my whole thing. And I just remembered today listening about like inviting somebody in on an idea, and all I really am wanting is an audience or a witness, you know, an audience. And then I had this flash of when I was a child that I got into like a lot of extreme fantasies, very existential ones. Like I did just not thinking that the world existed outside my door, which is the kind of truth, you know. It's like, but everyone's an actor, you know. When
we don't have any proof other than imagining we imagine what is outdoors. And so as a child, I love that you bring this up, because as children, we're still more in touch with I have no proof what's outside of this room, for example. But then
the ego became more superstitious or something. It was like, I think that, you know, my sister and my mom, they're having conversations like they're actors, you know, like Truman Show. I had this in my mind, they're having conversations that are different, and that when I come back into their life, they go back into like their roles as my family. And then I had further fantasies about a camera following me, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I would turn the camera on when I was on my own, feeling bored and unseen, and then I would just imagine the camera.
And there really is something watching you. You know, there really, really is something watching you, and it's you. It's the ego showing you what's not in the future and what wasn't in the past. All that you know, they're false image. They're images of what's not. So that, you know, it's really true in that respect. That you're being watched. It's just not you're watching.
But I was doing it to keep me going. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, I just felt like I'd give up if I didn't have some. So like I felt I was conjuring some approval or something.
Oh, honey, I just think that's kind. Yeah. Little help from your heart. You know, it's just. The ego cannot outshine the heart. So very sweetly in touch. Thank you, Mello.
Thank you, Katie. Always.
Dina.
So, hello, Byron Katie. Hello,
Dina.
Everyone. I just thought to add something to what Mello was just saying. So this understanding that there is no world outside what we imagine, it's an interesting thing that how it plays on one's mind depending on where one is with oneself, because it can also turn into a paranoia or make someone extremely insecure,
or a depression, a fear.
So this is it's a strange. And I mean, it's interesting to go back to the childhood, actually, because that's in childhood. That's when we play with all these things and we try them on and we see how them. And like you were saying, in some ways, we're very kind to ourselves. Like I remember also in myself, also creating all kinds of compensation mechanisms inside myself to cope with what's there. But it was also slightly disconcerting because I had a feeling I was losing touch with reality, you know, like I had lucid dreaming and I was aware that I was dreaming, but then I was really worried, you know, is this world real? Is that real? So I had a fear of going mad for like decades, to be honest. So it's I don't quite know, to be absolutely honest. I don't quite know where this concept of the world not existing outside your head, where it can take you, and perhaps it depends on where you are starting from.
You know, I've I'm just going to say it. Good to have the work. Good to have the work when you don't know, because when you get into that don't know, you have the work, because you can't be in the don't know unless you think you know. So that's where we are already.
You can't be in the don't know unless you think.
Let's say without a world, without any world, and you're the only one, and you're just in the abyss. There's no one and nothing but you forever. What you're thinking and believing in that experience is, I'm just going to say it like this, you're not alone. It's impossible. It's impossible. Okay, I'm just gonna go here with it. When you're asleep at night and you're not dreaming, where's the problem? That's the experience of no I. Then all of a sudden, I am a little girl of 3 years old. I woke up this morning. I am a woman in her 80s. I am, you know. And the ego offers up all the images to go with it. And I hope those of you new to the work understand that there's no downside to this life other than what you're thinking and believing. There's no downside to any life other than what you're thinking and believing. And thank you all for joining us today. If this seems a little much for some of you that are new to the work, just take a deep breath. And all of you, thanks to your contribution, we're going to be here tomorrow. And Tommy, thank you again for being our teacher. And oh my gosh, with that telephone call on I'm just sitting here loving the sound of the ring. It's like presence. So beautiful. I recall. Who would I be without that present? With it present. Why? Because I love it. It's presence. A word for stillness. Thank you, beloveds. Thank you today for something beautiful.